Harris on the wings. Matthew Gidler returns after a 3-week break in the centres alongside Quinn. Rudder, Andrew Johns is the halfback and captain, and a forward pack that has Peden, Simpson, Newton, Perry, Badiris and Woolnough. Off the bench, O'Doherty, Jobson, Bailey, Esther Theo, their coach Michael Hagan.
And for the Bulldogs, some changes from their side in recent weeks. Patton is the fullback, El Masri and Utai on the wings, Vangana and Poglazi is their centre combination, Anasta and Sherwin. Smith has moved to lock forward, Feeney and Reardon in the second row, Mason, Price and Hughes in the front row. On the bench, Grimaldi, Thurston, Scott and Rahihi. They're coached by Stephen Folkes.
So both teams without some of their star players. Here's Stephen Price taking the Dogs out, shooting for their 16th consecutive victory. In fact, they lost their last regular season game away from home exactly 12 months ago today. There's the new boy, Paul Glace in the centres, Patton at fullback, Matthew Utai, no Willie Talau today. Darren Smith will lock the scrum and Willie's got the hairstyle back to its normal. There's Darren. He's played test matches for Australia, numbering something like 11, 22 State of Origin matches. Came off the bench the other day. He's in the run-on side, locking the scrum today. And now Andrew Johns takes this depleted Newcastle side onto the park. And look at those flags. It's a great sight. Sunday afternoon rugby league in front of a packed stadium. At home, when Andrew Johns has played, the Knights have not been beaten since round 1 last year. That is an imposing record. Andrew Voss sideline.
And Ray, plenty of breeze to fly those flags in as well. It's more coming across the ground, so it's going to be difficult again under the high ball. Ray, Willie Mason, as a young bloke, the story is he grew up at Toronto, had dreams of playing one day for the Newcastle Knights. Today he will look to terrorise them. It was a big stat for Willie last week against the Roosters. He had more game time than any Bulldogs forward, played 68 minutes. This time last year, he was a 40-minute player. He's been just a great improver.
Referee for this big game today, Sean Hampstead.
All right, fellas, stay on the kicker.
So we had Parramatta and Brisbane on Friday. Now we've got Newcastle and Canterbury today. And it's a high start to the game. The Dogs coming off their own line, and Price is hammered early by the Newcastle defence. To the short side immediately they go for Utai. And he will play the ball 3 metres inside the 20. And a penalty goes on the second tackle of the game to the Dogs.
And Newcastle will be disappointed to give away that penalty because their first 2 tackles had been bone crunches, especially the first one from Simpson. Ray said they depleted the home team. No Tahu, no Matt Parsons. Although Gidley is back. And of course Mark Hughes has also been out for a couple of weeks with Robbie O'Davis.
Price plays the ball. Sherwin is with it. Mason angles back. And they put plenty of attention on Willie Mason and drive him back. Crowd loves it. Now for Reardon, standing on the short side, delivering the ball back for Darren Smith, who's not put away in the tackle. Sherwin is working in traffic, able to get the ball away. Anasta pushes it out to the right. Patton gives it on to Vangana. Vangana is held but gets the ball away. Back to Feeney. He loses the ball. It went backwards, I thought. And it's with Newcastle playing the advantage as Hampstead. 40-metre line, Newcastle's end of the park. They get a penalty. Inside the 10 against the blue and whites. And Johns, without hesitation, hits it, puts it over the line. 20 metres away from the Dogs' try line. Newcastle then with Badiris away for Johns and Johns for Perry. Perry beat Mason, he beat Feeney. And eventually Anasta pulled him down together with Vangana. Badiris again getting this pass away. Just one play off the ruck. And played there by the number 15, Woolnough. Johns then gets it on for Kurt Gidley. Wrestled down by Sherwin, cleaned up by Darren Smith. And again with Johns from dummy half, allowed to run. He's allowed to go over the line. Johns has scored. I can't believe it. They let Johns run. And eventually he planted it over the line.
And a great start there. Tremendous work from Andrew Johns. Coming off the penalty awarded against the Dogs. They just overread this play as he goes from dummy half. He frees it there. You can see that the Bulldogs' defence, they come up. They love coming up and in, and he will get in behind them. As play continues, Johns slides through. Reardon had raced up. Willie Mason came up as well. And Johns from 10 metres out, he's almost unstoppable. He's another forward in that area.
Yeah, and he thinks Andrew Johns has been doing his homework, watching some recent performances of the Bulldogs, who have conceded some tries. Players running from dummy half back towards the post in their last couple of games. The best number 7 in the comp has taken advantage of the same play.
So Johns converts his own try. Braithen Astor restarting this game, and it's a deep kick down to young Gidley, and he sends Woolnough charging back 12 metres out from his own line. Badiris was going to give it to Stephen Simpson, and I think Simpson got himself offside, and Badiris took the run himself.
He's got a pretty flash pair of boots on today too, Danny Badiris. He's got the white model.
Simpson making a mistake. It was a terrible pass, and a chance for the Dogs with Utai to play it. Played back for Polglaze, and has come away now for Stephen Price. And they are 5 metres away from the Knights line. Corey Hughes, Brent Sherwin, out in front of Braithen Astor. Newcastle had a chance. It'll be a loose head and feet for Newcastle inside the 20.
Well, I'm not sure if that'll be the case, Ray. I don't know whether the Bulldogs have touched this. Whether that was ruled to have gone forward. I think that... Well, Andrew Johns has got the football at the moment. So, yes. Yeah, he's got knock-ons both ways.
So Newcastle were setting themselves up for extreme pressure, but it broke down. Steve Simpson gets a clean pair of hands on it this time, and he's tackled 30 metres out from his own line. They go down the short side with Peden. Tackled down around the legs by Steve Reardon. Now back for Adam Woolnough. Working it through the ruck area. Back for Johns, and now for Josh Perry. And Perry runs it straight at Corey Hughes. Makes a bit of an indentation in the defence. He'll play it 5 metres into Bulldogs territory. That kick came off the feet of a Canterbury player who didn't play at the ball. And Hampstead is ordering changeover. So the Dogs just short of the halfway mark as Mason goes ahead. Runs into Josh Perry. He's tackled around the legs by Badiris. Now Corey Hughes for Darren Smith, and away it goes to Polglaze out there in the centres in jumper number 14. Playing it now, 35 metres out. The run is from Utai. Matthew Utai playing it now. 25 metres out. Players on the eastern side of the ground. Back for Reardon. Reardon for Anasta. Got the ball away for Feeney. Feeney flick passes, but it's gone forward.
Yeah, Braithen Astor almost got a miracle pass away here, but it was ruled forward. Like it may have gone back off Billy Peden, but I'm sure the referee must have got a call from the touch judge because he wasn't in a good position to call a forward pass.
So another scrum inside the Newcastle 20-metre line. And this is Matthew Gidley. A surprise return today for him. Here's his brother Kurt. Badiris using Woolnough, and Woolnough runs into 3 of the Dogs.
And Ray, just on the centres, talking about Matt Gidley, 3 starting centres missing this afternoon. No Willie Talau and no Tahu or Mark Hughes for the Knights. And those 2 players for Newcastle, they're the leading try scorers.
Badiris with a short pass for Anthony Quinn, and you can see the impact as his head jolted. Very good tackle, I think, mainly from Vangana. He's working on that right side defence with Reardon, so he's got a very good partner in defence out there. And here they are again converging and not allowing Newcastle any ground at all with Bill Peden. Now Johns puts in a grubber kick. He's looking for the regather. He's on the turf in back play. Referee saw it, said play on. And now the counter punch from Canterbury. Luke Patton tackled on the halfway mark. Well, Simpson will want to be careful. There was an unnecessary flop from him. Stephen Price tackled now. Corey Hughes using Darren Smith, and Darren runs it straight at them. Johns made to do some tackling with Rudder. Mason now to the 30-metre line. And he's pulled down by the Newcastle number 12, Clint Newton. To the right they come. Anasta. He kicks. He's looking for Hazem El Masri, but it's too big. Not only too big, a mile too big to serve its purpose.
Andrew Johns was knocked down after kicking this ball. Had he stayed down on the ground and played for the penalty, which I think was his intention, it could well have been a try to the Bulldogs, because Patton picked it up, raced downfield, and it was Johns who jumped up off the ground to make a very important tackle and save the day.
Matthew Gidley now, as the Knights get it out beyond the 40-metre line after the 20-metre restart. And now they're on the halfway line with Morris over there in jumper number 5 today. Now here's Badeiras having the ball taken off him in a one-on-one situation with Brent Sherwin. That's the second time Badeiras today has been basically left up the river without a paddle, so to speak. There's been a breakdown of communications in there. And it's the second time, as I said, for Danny Badeiras to be involved in it. Mason plays it. Corey Hughes gives it right for Feeney. Feeney throws the ball. It might have got a deflection. Vangana cleans it up. And Hampstead says play on. Hughes again across now for Price. And Price will be made to play the ball on the 30-metre line. Simpson keeping him on the ground as long as he could. Here's Sherwin putting a kick in. And it's bounced up for the number 2 from Newcastle, Neil Sweeney, and that's very good defence from the Dogs.
That's a great tackle there from Luke Patton. Very, very dangerous, as we pointed out so often, Brent Sherwin. That occasion, getting the ball for his side. Danny Badeiras taking too long to pass. And then the grubber kick, which has been such a lethal weapon, results in a line dropout.
Luke Patton responsible really for forcing this line dropout. He's had a great year. Andrew sideline as we wait for the line dropout.
You'd have to think that this match is following the same lines as last week right at the moment. The Bulldogs match against the Roosters, that is. They conceded a try in the first 5 minutes. Then they come back and throw everything. The last defensive set of 6 from the Bulldogs was brutal. And now it's up to Newcastle to try and match them.
Price playing it on the 30-metre line. Tackled by Simpson. This is Utai going in looking for work, this nuggety winger. And he's tackled by Rudder. They are 20 metres away from the Newcastle line as the ball comes away to Mason. Mason takes them on again. They accept him and put him on the ground. And now a quick play the ball for Corey Hughes. Here's danger for the Dogs. No, the pass is misdirected. And John saves the day for Newcastle. Hampstead hitting the turf for a moment, the referee. Matt Gidley now.
All right, Dogs, come on, Dogs.
12 metres out from their own line. They've been tackled in their opposition 24 times, the Knights. The Dogs once.
And just extending on to Andrew's comments on the Bulldogs coming back, they have conceded by far the least amount of first half tries through the competition, yet they've now conceded the first try in their last 5 matches. They don't let many in, but just recently they've let the first one.
Penalty goes to Newcastle. Darren Smith was all over the top of Josh Perry. Hands on the man trying to get up and play the ball, and eventually Hampstead's patience ran out.
Yeah, Ray, I think Bossie's right. This is going to be a game of contrasting styles. The Bulldogs have come today, I think, with physical intimidation on their mind, as he has found touched Andrew Johns, luckily.
Yes, he's ruled that Hazem El Masri's had part of his feet on the line. In other words, he didn't leave the field of play to do it.
Yeah, and he's going to give them the tap. There's no scrum here. Here's El Masri, who was actually on the sideline before he jumped. Just saying the Bulldogs have brought their physical intimidation today, and I think the Knights will be looking for a little bit of skill to take over. So we've got 2 contrasting styles here.
Wilmo giving a pass that Billy Peden didn't really need, and eventually he was taken from behind by the defence and banged into the ground. Here's Perry. In every tackle from the Dogs, there are 3 tacklers, and they're hitting very hard. Badeiras now working with Johns. Johns giving it back for Newton. Newton back for Peden. Peden is tackled 10 metres out from the line. A set play, a rehearsed play. Badeiras on for Johns again. Andrew gets it on for Rudder, and Rudder is picked up and pummeled into the ground. Still there 10 metres from the line. Kurt Gidley using Steve Simpson. Simpson is so close to that corner. Playing it back, and back it comes now from Matt Gidley for Johns to kick. And up they go. It's gone with Darren Smith, but I think it went forward off Newcastle. No, he's ruling a line dropout.
Beautiful kick there by Andrew Johns, a banana kick that went into the in goal, then swung back to his own teammates. Right across the face of the goal, coming back, difficult one for Vangana. Referee ruling there that Vangana actually knocked it back. And then into the in goal for Smith to put it dead, or Finney to put it dead. Great kick from Andrew Johns.
And this is a wonderful dropout from Braithen Astor. Newcastle's Woolno, who's in the side for Matt Parsons, takes it back to the 30-metre line. Johns working with Peden again, and Peden gets away from Braithen Astor. Johns supports him on the right, but he takes the tackle again of Mason and Reardon. Here's Badera sliding the ball for Newton. Up the middle, Kurt Gidley. 10 metres out from the uprights. Newcastle pressing. It's come away to Rudder. Rudder gets it on then for Quinn, who's trying to reverse over the line. Quinn playing centres today. Out for Johns again. He puts the kick in. That's a try. Kurt Gidley. Part of Gidley Incorporated. Kurt, replacing Robbie O'Davis, has scored off the magical boot of Andrew Johns.
And again, it wasn't the last tackle, and as play stops there, you can see that Kurt Gidley is the man that has come through, flying through, a little bit of space in, and as play continues, a very, very difficult take there for Gidley, but he handled it well. Good timing from the run as well, staying behind Andrew Johns. There you can see Luke Patton getting across. He had a lot of journey in front of him. And Gidley, beautiful effort.
Yeah, a little surprised he didn't go to the video referee. There was a little bit of a bobble there, but it didn't hit the ground. He managed to get it down. But beautiful play there again by Andrew Johns. I know we knock up wrapping this fellow, but a wonderfully placed kick. Didn't care that it wasn't the last tackle. Saw the Bulldogs defence rushing. Knew he had runners.
But Andrew Johns converts Kurt Gidley's try. So the Newcastle side with 2 converted tries, 16 minutes gone, and they lead 12-0. Breeze behind Canterbury in the first half. Tending to get across the ground a little bit, but just now it's favouring Canterbury from left to right, and here's Peden now. So Newcastle have weathered some pressure from the Dogs, although they haven't been able to exert too much because they haven't completed their sets. And the ball has been put to ground by them with some shoddy passing. Shoddy passing by their own standards, I mean.
Yeah, I think there's some really positive signs for the Bulldogs if they can control the football. When they've had the football, I believe that they really have troubled this Newcastle defence. And will continue to do so as Johns again earlier in the count finds open space around the 30-metre line. Chase coming through. Gidley is there. Knocks it back, but he's offside.
Mountain of possession in favour of the Knights, as you would have seen on that possession stat. Yes, he is offside.
Yeah, well, I think it would be the most basic of requirements if you're going to chase a kick that you knew you were behind the kicker. Whether he thought he was going to test the referee there, but it's a big penalty to pay. He had plenty of teammates around him that were onside that could have gone for the football.
Having said that, they did get a couple of miraculous bounces, didn't they? The ball sat up and then bounced back towards them. Here is Price. He has led the charge for the Dogs through the forwards, supported by the other front row forward, this fellow Mason. And Mason plays the ball. They're only 20 metres out. It's with Sherwin. Now Darren Smith. In and out, and then trying to go through. He plays it 8 metres from the line. They hit the short side. Polglaze is tackled and held. And as you can see, there's the corner post, so they're only inches away. Utai for Sherwin. Sherwin's kick came off the feet of Newcastle. Perry has fallen on it. So it probably doesn't matter how you repel them or how you turn them away, but Newcastle has managed to do that on at least 4 occasions so far.
And they realised that the short kick was going to be a big weapon from Brent Sherwin this afternoon. Sherwin has been involved in 18 tries this year, 7 of those from the grubber kick.
Help throw, hands off now.
Matt Gidley waiting to play it.
I guess if you're going to try and practice to defend against a grubber kick, it's handy to have Andrew Johns in your club. The training 3 nights during the week. If he can't get them through, you'd be pretty happy you can contain Brett Sherwin. They've done it so far.
And here's some beautiful passing along the line. Anthony Quinn and Nigel Vunganar in a contest.
Well, that's a penalty.
Which is forthcoming.
And it should be a sin bin. If that's with 5 minutes to go and there's 2 points on the scoreboard, he'd have gone straight to the bin. That's a sin bin offence.
Precisely. It seems to be governed by the clock. 18 minutes into the game, it's a penalty. 5 minutes out from full time, it's a penalty plus the sin bin. It's crazy. Here's Perry now. 12-0 in favour of the Newcastle Knights. 2 converted tries and another penalty. It's against Stephen Price. He'll take the kick.
Yeah, I think against most other teams, Andrew Johns may have thought about taking the tap and exerting more pressure. This was wonderful. This was Newcastle football. Billy Peden gets a fine ball away to Quinn. He just didn't have the pace to get the other side of Vunganar, and that would have enabled him to pick up some inside support. But really going on with the tackle there. It was a great attacking position for the Knights. As we point out, the Kiwi international still lucky to be out there. Here was the resulting penalty in front of the post. Perry pushed down in attempting to play the ball.
Done a fair bit of this over the years, the Bulldogs. They're willing to concede penalties rather than tries if they think they're a little stretched. Every point in this first half valuable to the Knights, who look as though they'll have the breeze at their backs in the second half.
Johns then with the penalty. It's straight on line. Lovely kick. Andrew Voss sideline.
And a test of depth. We're about to see it today with so many players injured from both camps. The Bulldogs have just made their first change with Willie Mason off and Paul Rahihi on. But you look at the Newcastle bench and they're hardly household names. You've got Matt Jobson, Trent Estetheo between them. Not even a handful of first-grade matches. And Jared O'Doherty, the first player onto the field. So a real test for the benchmen today of both teams.
Tremendous crowd in. Biggest crowd this year. 26,350 against the Sharks on a Friday night. This crowd must be right up amongst that. And they've been coming in here since as early as, well, they've been waiting since 7:30 this morning, apparently. Scenes that you just don't see in the modern era.
They've been waiting since Monday, Ray, I think.
Okay.
Just at the ground since 7:30 this morning.
Good tackle.
Gee, what a tackle. That was on Simpson by Corey Hughes. Badeiros now gets it away, and Newcastle get it out to the 40-metre line. They're leading by 14 points to 0. The number 14 trying to play the ball, O'Doherty.
It sounds a lot 14, doesn't it? But I still expect the Bulldogs to hit back and hit back hard if they can get some quality possession. After just 20 minutes, we've got one of their defenders in Steve Reardon has already come up with 19 tackles. So they've had plenty of work in defence.
Did you see that chase from Newcastle on the wide shot? You would have seen this almost a platoon of Newcastle defenders in a straight line, compressed, and down the ground they went, led by the captain who put the kick in. And then Hazem El Masri was on the end of that defensive line. Here is Utah. I haven't seen involvement from Utah like I've seen today. I mean, they both realise just how good they are. And Peter pointed out that Andrew Johns took that penalty kick for goal. Against most other sides, he would have gone for the 6 points. They are very much aware of how good each other is. And here is Matt Gidley now, trying to work it away and doing a fine job of it. He's tackled inside the 20-metre line.
Now, I think the Bulldogs are one of the best teams in the competition when they get behind on the scoreboard. They don't panic with the ball. They decide that they'll try and win this game through defence. You can already see now early kicking in the tackle count. Good line chase. They'll come up and try and hit hard, force some turnovers. They won't panic with the ball. They'll try and do it with their tackling.
Rather than playing the ball for Newcastle just outside the 30-metre line, here's Clint Newton. A good run straight up the middle. And tackle 5 has been indicated as they go to Johns. Price was lurking for the charge down. The kick has bounced favourably for Utah. He comes across and gets outside the 30-metre line. There was a look of pain on his face, though.
Yeah, well, this is an unusual tackle from Kurt. It just gets him around the chin, but it's a fairly innocuous looking one. He's travelling at speed. But in the end, he really just grabbed him by the collar of the jersey.
Well, I'll be honest with you, I thought he must have done a knee or an ankle. What Kurt Gidley did to him, as you said, was innocuous. It was hardly worth calling, but it's almost put him out for the count.
Just looking at Billy Peden, got a smile on his face saying he can't be serious, but he's obviously caught one around the mouth. Might look innocuous from up here, Ray, but if you're on the end of it, I guess it stings. I don't think he's going to get a penalty, though. I don't think the video ref is impressed. Certainly seems to have been no signal down to the sideline. And has bumped him on the top lip. Getting no sympathy from the Newcastle crowd either.
And again, we saw Andrew Voss, fairly innocuous tackle on Friday night, and he's only been on crutches for a couple of days now. Oh,
well,
no.
They do get a penalty.
Well, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
That's almost as ridiculous as giving a sin bin to a bloke who throws the football at somebody, I suppose, other than the referee. Here is Rahihi, back on his former home turf. They drive in and hit hard, and the crowd loves it. Feeney on the end of a Perry tackle. Price finds some gaps. He's got Sherwin away. Again, they can't complete. Newcastle's ball.
And Newcastle opened up there. One of their defenders came rushing in along with another, and that opened up a hole on the fringe as Simpson finds the opposition inside the 10. Steve Price going over to question the referee. Hard to argue.
5-2 the penalties in favour of Newcastle. 5-3 now.
Great shot there from Josh Perry, who's really started this game strongly. No Matt Parsons out there, and another inexperienced front row alongside him. He's just lifted his game. There he is, bumping off players.
Steve Reardon retiring back to the 10-metre line. He's taken a hit. He's not 100%. As number 13 gets ready to come in, that's Tony Grimaldi. As they go across and try to look for an opening, Peden getting the ball away. 6 more tackles. The Knights have got the ball through Rudder. Play back for Medeiros. Now for Johns. Johns gets it back. O'Doherty puts it down for Simpson. Simpson is held.
All the way, dogs, come on.
12 away. Medeiros inside the 10. That's how close they are. Newcastle looking for their 3rd try. Johns. Simpson.
Let go his leg, right?
1 metre out from the line. Johns, it goes himself. 5th tackle has been called. Now from Simpson. Back for Kurt Gidley. He puts a kick and it bounces over to Sherwin. Sherwin throws a pass to Patton, and Patton is put down.
Well, listen, that's a sign of confidence from Brent Sherwin. So he's lost the football there. Hazem El Masri will claim it went backwards. The ball certainly came loose.
So the scrum inside the 20, centre of the ground, Canterbury's end, and fed by Johns. 14-0 in favour of Newcastle. They go back to Matt Gidley. He holds off the centre, gets the ball to Morris, but it's gone into touch.
Just lost it. Off ball, dogs.
Well, there's the pet play of Matt Gidley. Loves to bring in the winger while holding off his own centre. And there's another example, John Morris. Just the impact of the cover defence coming across, taking the ball over the sideline.
So Newcastle gets the feed. Rudder.
Someone let him up there. Hands off now, hands off.
Close to the line.
Play,
Play in the centre of the ground. They come to the left. And this is Newton, who heads off back to the centre. Tidied up by Braithen Astor. Play back for Medeiros. Now for Johns. Here is Simpson.
Hands off now,
Playing a big part in this match today, Stephen Simpson. And a penalty. He's come up with the leg. Johns will take another kick, surely. And Hampstead wants Stephen Price.
No. What it was for, he had hold of his leg and he's trying to play the ball and he had hold of his leg and he couldn't play the ball. So the penalty goes.
Well, I've got to say, I'm quite surprised that Newcastle, well, as they take the tap, had another set of 6.
John, one, let him go now, hands off now. Come on, dogs.
With what happened on the far side with John Morris. But anyway, play on.
I'll come back to it, Peter. I can tell you what happened. Here's Perry now. Just outside the line. And Baderas waiting to give it on the right for Johns, who steps.
Let him go now, let him go. Come on, dogs.
So close and yet so far. Baderas for Rudder. Rudder floats it out for Gidley. Gidley does it this time. John Morris is in. That's the play that they used about a minute ago. And Peter was asking the question, how come Newcastle got the feed? He ruled that the ball was taken away from Morris by a Bulldog and put over the sideline. And that was the play that they tried to work, and it's worked for them about 60 seconds later.
And if we freeze it here, that is the ball carrier, and what Matthew Gidley loves to do is to get this man to come up and this man to get interested, to leave some space down the side, and that's exactly what unfolds. Gidley in and away towards the winger. Utai had to stay with his man. You've got to have enough confidence in your inside defender to make the tackle. Otherwise, this is what is going to happen.
Well, he got a warning shot only a minute ago. Exactly a minute ago, Matthew Gidley put the same move on him, dragged him in, put Morris away on the outside. He was lucky not to concede a try then. But with all that in the back of his mind, Gidley comes at him one more time and he's still lured in for the one-handed pass down the short side.
He'll be a loss for them, John Morris. He's really played well for them in the last couple of seasons. In fact, he's only one of 2 players for Newcastle this year to have played all 17 matches, him and Anthony Quinn. Now, they've done well, the young men. And now John's looking to extend what is already a big lead. And that is the assignment in front of him. Looks pretty skinny, doesn't it?
Johns to attempt conversion of Newcastle's 3rd try. Peter trying to sound sympathetic for Newcastle, but at the same time knowing that he's headed for Parramatta. Just a little smile on his face as he made that comment. Now the kick. It's not. Is it coming back? No, it's just around the back of the uprights. As the Dogs start with a very big kickoff. It must have had Sweeney, the winger, in a couple of minds. 15 away from their own line. Newcastle, they've been down this end of the park several times today, and every time Canterbury with the football, their own attack has broken down for the want of a good pass or better ball security. As I said earlier, it doesn't matter how you come out of that zone as long as you get out safely, and Newcastle have used every advantage they know of. Here's Gidley reeling out of a tackle before giving it to Johns, and Johns gives it back for Kurt Gidley, and Gidley, one of the 3 try scorers. He plays the ball. 5th tackle as Johns puts the kick up, and it's going down and over the head of Hazem El Masri, and then bounces away for a scrum to restart back on the Canterbury 10-metre line.
Just having a look at how much football both of these teams have had, the completion rates, possessions. 20 is about your average in a first half of football. At the moment, Newcastle have had the ball 22 times to their opponent's 13, and we have still got close to 10 minutes to go in this first half. It's a mountain of football.
So the Dogs bringing it away to their 30-metre line with Rahihi.
Yeah, we've seen the Knights do this a lot though, haven't we, Peter? They've come out against good sides, blitzed them in the first half, and then really try to hold on in the second stanza. Any points the Bulldogs can get in this last 8 or so minutes will be a bonus.
This game is far from over.
Halfway line as Sherwin puts a kick along the ground down to Gidley, and the Canterbury defence arriving just as he lost his footing. The player in headgear out there for Canterbury in jumper 15 is Jonathan Thurston. 30 metres out from the line, the number 15 coming on for Newcastle. Adam Woolnough, who had a strong start to the game. He goes in for his 2nd session. This is O'Doherty now as Simpson comes to the bench for Newcastle.
Yeah, I was going to say 2 of Newcastle's best go to the bench in Simpson and Perry. And that's a pretty good first touch there from Estefio.
He plays the ball on the halfway mark for the home side, who lead 18 points to 0 as Johns Rolls it down in behind Hazem El Masri, and there's that line of defence coming down in one line. Regimental stuff. As they go away to Thurston now, and then it's with Luke Patton. Has his legs taken from him by Danny Badeiras. Across now to the left for Anasta to go away to Utai. Utai is met by John Morris. He pulls him down with some help from Matthew Gidley just inside the Canterbury 30-metre line. And now it's Rahihi.
Let him go. Come on, Knights. Oh, Knights, hold.
Canterbury yet to get on the board. Out to Sherwin. Now for Thurston. Steps off his right foot. But he's tackled by Clint Newton. In jumper number 12 for Newcastle. Anasta gets his kick in just in advance of an attempted charge down from Esther Theo. This is Sweeney. Enormous crowd basking in almost summer-like conditions and enjoying it, obviously. The bulk of them being from Newcastle. And played there by Kurt Gidley as it comes back now for Newton. And Newton grimaces as he takes the tackle of Grimaldi in 13 and Thurston in 15 as John shows it and tries to put one of his teammates through a gap. Played there by Sweeney, the winger. In fact, it was Morris working on the left of the ground, though he's playing on the right wing. Played now by Woolnough. Badeiras away for Johns, and Johns with a long-range shot, the arms up. It's a point. He caught everybody napping, including myself. Dropped it on the ground, went for the drop shot, and it went absolutely picture perfect.
Yeah, just another psychological little blow there. Now the opposition have got to score 4 times to get in front. Thought that might have been coming inside the final 5. But he's had a good shot at it because, as Ray pointed out, no pressure coming through. Everybody taken by surprise.
19-0 is the score as we go to the sideline for Andrew.
Well, I've got to say, watching from the sideline these last 4 or 5 minutes, I think it's noticeable that the Bulldogs' energy level seems to have gone down, and that's a result of all the defensive workload in this first half. I think they really need half-time right now, the Dogs. If the Knights are able to control the football in this last 5, more points aren't beyond them.
Jobson takes his first tackle of the game. And now Esther Theo. Played back, and it's with O'Doherty. Jared O'Doherty in 14. Names that you seldom see in the Newcastle side out there now in abundance.
But a good opportunity for Michael Hagan to get those lower profile players out there at a really good time of the game. They've got a big lead, a little bit of pressure is off them in some ways, so they can get their game time out there when the pressure is off. Johns for himself.
And he's able to pick it up and put a kick on it again. El Masri has to drop back urgently. That was brilliant football by Andrew Johns. Absolutely brilliant football.
I'm sure he was watching the television last night and saw Stacey Jones do a similar thing. What's this? Little kick in behind the line, running at speed. He's got to scoop it up, despite being attended by the defence, gets it and kicks it, all in the one motion before being tackled. Tremendous football.
Now Utai. Just inside the 30-metre line. Familiar territory for Canterbury. They've been down there a lot in this game, and Patton has his legs snapped from under him by Andrew Johns, and now Brent Sherwin puts the kick down to the Newcastle 20-metre zone. Gidley is on his way back with it, and Kurt is tackled 30 metres out from his own line. Sweeney, a dummy half, gives it away for Quinn to go out to the other centre, Gidley. And Matthew Gidley will play the ball on the eastern side, 32 metres out from the line. Newcastle with Anthony Quinn about to play the ball. Now it's been taken off him by Rahihi in a one-on-one situation. This is Grimaldi. Grimaldi for Anasta. Anasta away for Poglaze. He is tackled 35 metres out from the line. Canterbury mounting an attack just in front of half-time, which is 3.5 minutes away. Darren Smith goes to the short side, tries to attract the winger to come in. Morris was actually working one in from the right. Gidley was on the wing. This is Price now. And a surge from the Canterbury captain, 15 metres from the Newcastle line. Sherwin for Feeney. Feeney for Thurston. Thurston for Grimaldi. Grimaldi for Patton. Patton for Vangana. And Nigel Vunganar plays the ball. 10 metres out. Sherwin throws the dummy. Gets it back for Thurston. Thurston goes for the line. He plays it on 5.
Still numbers to the left if they can get it wide quickly. They've gone the other way through Sherwin.
Sherwin puts the kick in and the winger, Sweeney, forces it.
Well, 2:22 left on the clock.
Thank you, Richie.
And it's a very important 2:22 for the Dogs. If they can just get across the line, it'll be something to go in with at half-time.
Utai again hits them down the right side, but it's holding tight. And now a penalty goes to the Bulldogs. Taking a tap, Jamie Feedy away to Stephen Price. 2 minutes to go to the half-time break. Sherwin, now Thurston. Ball and all tackle by Jobson. Thurston to play the ball. Darren Smith out from dummy half, and Anasta cut down by the 18, Matt Gidley. Penalty.
And I'll tell you what, this is almost as well. This could quite have easily been a sin binning as well if we're going to say that about Nigel Vunganar in the first half. This was a try-scoring opportunity. I think Gidley raked the leg out deliberately once again. So he could quite easily be having a break.
So Canterbury with a minute and a quarter as Sherwin gets the ball away. Darren Smith is close to the line, but the defence is there. 3 of them in the tackle on Darren Smith, who plays it back. Feeney, Sherwin for Thurston, and he's bombarded by the defence. Peden and Jobson. Sherwin again. He floats it out. It bounces for Polglaze. He tries to light step. He gets it to Darren Smith, who's tackled. Newcastle fans praying for half-time. Sherwin back for Polglaze. He beats one of the forwards, but Newcastle have got the ball.
Yeah, Danny Badeiras comes up with it, plucked it out of the air. The Dogs aren't happy. They were complaining that there was an indiscretion in there. They've weathered the storm and should go to the break. Newcastle with this lead.
Dogs, come on back and hold, fellas.
Yeah, they did a Bulldogs on the Bulldogs, didn't they? Prepared to give penalties away, break up the rhythm. Knew that the Dogs wouldn't kick for goal, and then some good defences held them at bay.
This is O'Doherty
All the way, Dogs, come on, Dogs.
taking what will be the last tackle of the first half. Hampstead blows time. Michael Hagan would have to be a more than satisfied coach. 19-0 at half-time.
Tuesday Night Football celebrates league's highest individual honour. Vote for a Dally M winner. Choose to barrack for Barrett as he takes on the boys from Belmore. Badeiras has a blinder in the ref against the defending premiers.
Brilliant play.
Or JT bringing Cowboys back in this clash with the Titans.
Between the uprights, how good is it?
Tuesday Night Football's 3-point performances. 8:30 next Tuesday, Fox Sports 2.
For muscle aches and pains, there is
New Denkarub pain relieving heat patches. Each patch heats up for temporary medicated pain relief, so you can get back to whatever it is you do. Denkarub pain relieving heat patches. Put a patch on pain.
This planet is a game preserve. We're the game.
See, they learn. They adapt. And there's different types of them out there.
How do we kill them?
However you can.
Predators in cinemas July 8.
If you weren't here to protect your family, how would they get by? With ING's Easy Protect Life Insurance, you can do something now to safeguard their future.
Why not give them a call?
Buy online or call 1300 ING 200 now.
Hurry into your nearest bow repair store for 20% off Dunlop tyres.
Turn left now. In 10 meters, turn right. Go straight. Take second exit. I said second exit. Are you listening?
Turn left. Lovely.
With 20% off Dunlop tyres, every car will want to get into Bow Repairs. Who you turn to for tyres? Call 13 23 81.
Skin irritation? This could be due to tiny cuts on your skin. But Gillette Fusion's 5-blade suspension system reduces pressure. So you get Gillette's most comfortable shave, even on sensitive skin.
$165,000 calls every day. But we always treat you as an individual with individual needs, which we're delighted to help with. American Express. Realise the potential.
The stadium party of the year is on at the Harvey Norman State of Origin. Grab the wig, grab the t-shirt, first in, best dressed up. Grab a spot with your mates for the 30th anniversary of Origin. It's all hands on deck. Seats are limited and only available online. Get your supporters pack and get your scream on. And it's a try! 30 years of Origin.
We're calling upon you!
Get online now. The stadium party. It's on in Sydney.
Don't miss out!
19-0 as we go into the second half. The defending premiers Newcastle leading 19-0 against the current minor premiers and the team almost certain to be minor premiers come the end of the regular competition round. 30 metres out from their own line. Team 1 versus Team 3 today. Both down on numbers, but providing a wonderful spectacle. 35 points for the Dogs at number 1 and 30 points for Newcastle at number 3. Jobson in 16 plays the ball. Newcastle nearing the end of their first set of 6. 48 metres on 5 tackles on their opening set. And Johns puts it back and across into that sunny corner where Hazem El Masri will be guarding for the second half, or for a large part of it. And the Dogs will come out from their own line now as it comes across for Thurston, and Thurston is taken in the middle of the ground. Andrew's back from the sheds with his half-time report. Andrew.
Well, I will tell you that the message I'm getting at half-time, the two coaches, both cool, calm and collected. On one side, you've got Michael Hagan not celebrating yet. Steve Folkes on the other side, still confident his side can get out of it. The main message from Michael Hagan, just wanted his players to concentrate for the full 40 minutes of this second half, control the football, control the game. I've got to say, this breeze has just picked up a little bit too in this second half, and it's more at the backs now, the Newcastle players, than across the field. And from Steve Folkes, a little reminder to his players, the Knights conceded 24 points in the grand final last year. They are prone, or they are certainly susceptible to the comeback, so the Bulldogs could be the side to do it today.
Here is Sweeney now. One of the new faces in the Newcastle top 17. Kurt Gidley taken over there by Thurston and Rahihi.
And Michael Hagan will be hoping that the players out there, a lot of his bench players, can get the job done for the next 15, maybe 20 minutes. That will enable him to bring some of his starters back in the form of Simpson, Josh Perry, Clint Newton. And he'll be hoping that the scoreline doesn't change too much during that period of time, unless it's their way.
Here's Johns now with players quite deep outside him, but Matt Gidley was taken and loses the ball. So a mistake by Newcastle. We'll see a scrum go down just inside the 30-metre line. Dogs end of the ground. There's Robbie O'Davis watching on from the tunnel. So the Dogs with their fullback up into the line. Patton played back for Sherwin, now for Grimaldi, and Grimaldi is met and put away by Woolnough. Darren Smith a dummy half, and Stephen Price takes them on to the halfway line. Smith again, Sherwin, and then through for Anasta, and Anasta has his legs taken from under him by Andrew Johns. Luke Patton thinks there's an opportunity for a dummy half run. He gained about 10 metres before his run ended. Again from Darren Smith to Brent Sherwin. Corey Hughes in a rest period. The ball has gone straight up and down. Here it comes. Sherwin put another kick on it, then got to regather. They'll score a try here. El Masri's knocked on.
Well, was El Masri tackled before he went to the football? The referee's quite happy with it. Brilliant work again from Brent Sherwin, reminiscent of what we saw from Andrew Johns in the first half. Kicking, getting the ball, and then kicking again. And I'm just a little concerned about, well, simultaneous, fair enough.
But Sherwin was quite brilliant. Estefio plays it now on the halfway line. This is Jobson down the short side. Woolnough in 15. 35 out. Parsons unable to play today, along with Robbie O'Davis and Tamana Tahu. Still missing, of course, is Ben Kennedy. Mark Hughes is also out. Peden, he will play the ball. 22 metres out, centre of the ground. The Dogs without Talau. And Glenn Hughes, as Johns puts a kick in that'll go dead. He put too much on it. Of course, the other loss for the Dogs is Travis Norton, so that just updates you if you've joined the telecast. 19-0 to Newcastle, both sides quite depleted. But it has attracted a monster crowd. There's the Dogs unavailable. O'Mealy, of course, with their broken jaw. 17 is Rahihi. That's the Newcastle list.
I was speaking to Michael Hagan before this game, just on Ben Kennedy. He expects him back in about 3 weeks, and that would be a huge boost for the club going into the playoffs.
Price. Darren Smith. They've got plenty of numbers on the blind side. Gee, that pass looked a little bit shady. It's been allowed to go, played by Feeney. Smith gives it across for Sherwin. Sherwin out for Thurston. They've got numbers out here, and Patton's pass has gone forward. Bunganar's on his way. Ball comes back, and then it came off the fingers of Thurston. It looked to go forward there as well. Newcastle knocking each other out of the road back in the end goal. And where is Hampstead going?
Well, I don't know how he's missed this forward pass. That's gone 2 metres forward, 3 metres forward. But he's gone back for a knock on here. He believes that Thurston has knocked the ball on in trying to get the pass from Bunganar. But how they missed the forward pass, it was right in front of the linesman. Steve Folkes chewing on that bit of chewing gum. He's had that bit of chewing gum since 1993. Refuses to let it go. Just puts it on the bedpost overnight and starts again the next day.
The Knights then, with John Morris, who scored a first half try. O'Doherty's pass has gone to ground. Utai down the left side, looking for the corner. Oh, well, he must have not touched the ground, obviously, and it hadn't been called held. Thurston to play the ball.
He was held.
Now, Rahihi. A metre from the line. Smith. Sherwin. Smith again. Now for Thurston. Gets it away. It bounces off the hand of Poglaze. He's tackled by Medeiros. Smith again. Utai running a Jobson and Peden to go to ground on 5. Smith for Sherwin. Sherwin kicks. El Masri's up there. He bats it down looking for Bunganar, but he finds one of the Knights. Andrew Johns was the man. Sweeney. 20 metres out from his own line. Quinn.
He was the one from Matt Utai that Ray Warren was talking about. He's down. Well, you're the expert, Rabs. What do you think?
Well, he hadn't been grounded, and obviously the referee hadn't called held. So he was quite entitled to do what he did. The referee felt that the tackle hadn't been completed, hadn't called held, and the ball hadn't touched the ground. the referee was absolutely right, but from where we watched it, it seemed as though he'd passed from the ground. Now Johns rolls it over the line. Just putting the fire out for a moment. Let's have a look at it again.
Utai, attended by 2 defenders. He's all but down. He's got his hand on the ground. He looked for sure and certain as though he'd been tackled, but he managed to get it away. We've got to give him the benefit of the doubt there. He's probably play on.
So the Knights now find themselves down the other end of the park and in a defence mode. As Luke Patton looks to break them, Rudder is able to make the initial tackle. Stephen Price crossing the 20-metre line. 2 of the Knights in attendance there, Matt Gidley and Bill Peden. Here's Darren Smith using the short side with Jamie Feeney, the runner. And the big fella, Willie Mason, about to come back with fresh legs. Fuel gauge reading only half empty with Willie, so he could be very dangerous.
Yeah, and I think that will prompt Michael Hagan to react off the bench as well. He'll be keen to get some fresh men and some of his starters back out there as Polglaze, who does very well, gets a good ball away to Anasta, got support inside and out.
Now they've got to use the sideline. Anasta puts the kick in. Look at Johns. Johns came from nowhere. He missed the ball. Mason, I'll tell you what, he'll come in handy all right. He just ambled onto the park, and Big Willie has scored a try.
Oh, Steve Folkes take a bow. An inspired substitution there. Big Willie. Good work from Polglaze. They go to the right, bring the ball back. Sherwin gets it to Polglaze now. As we freeze it there, he gets around and inside his man, and this is the support play that he's able to find in Anasta. His play continues. Anasta gets the football, sums up the situation. Lovely little kick here. Looked like the players inside were covered, but Utai put plenty of pressure on. And then there was an air swing from Andrew Johns and Willie Mason.
11 in, looking okay. They're up. They are up, and so are the Stocks of Canterbury as they start to climb back. 19-6. Restart time. Johns goes high and long, seemingly without a great deal of effort, but of course the breeze is behind him. And kicking off from there, you've got to be a bit careful. Could send it dead on the full. Here's a penalty going to the Dogs. Good things come in numbers.
Yeah, getting a little bit of a roll on now. And Ray, I don't want to be a doomsdayer for Newcastle fans, but gee, the record of teams taking field goals just before half-time are poor. It sort of signifies an end to your scoring. It says you've drawn a line in the sand, now come and get us. And the Bulldogs sensing only 13 points behind, plenty of time left on the clock. They're not out of the game.
Feeney now to play it. And Darren Smith is caught with the football. He ran across, he looked at Sherwin, he looked at Price, and eventually he took the tackle himself as Sherwin gives it on for Thurston. Then from Grimaldi back for Patton, and Patton is taken down by Stephen Simpson, 5 metres on the Newcastle side of halfway. Here is Sherwin again, and now Mason. Mason coming down this corridor on the left side, 5 tackles gone. Anasta, they're all onside, the Dogs, as they chase. Pressure for Kurt Gidley. And, that is a minor miracle. Sweeney has got the ball and played it. Gidley had awful pressure on him.
He did very well here in the end, didn't he, Kurt Gidley? To actually keep batting the ball back his way, and Sweeney, great work from the winger. Good support play.
There's a penalty. I thought for a moment it was lost by Quinn, but 2 in the tackle, and one of them with his hand on the ball. There it is from Feeney. You can hardly describe it as raking the ball, though, or stealing it, could you?
Well, that's why it's the most frustrating rule in rugby league. The players hate the stripping interpretation as it is. There's no doubt in the world that he didn't have security over that football, yet you're penalised, cost yourself 6 tackles in 30 metres. It's the worst rule in rugby league.
Perry now, playing it just short of halfway, tackled by Mason. Simpson almost on the halfway line. 19 points to 6. The Knights over the Dogs with Badeiros 42 metres away from Canterbury's line. Kurt Gidley fends away. Johns, well, the pass went off the shoulder of the number 14. Hampstead blew the whistle. Now Canterbury attacking off their own 30-metre line through Vangana. Stephen Price looking for the halfway line. 19-6 the Knights.
And I'm still of the belief, Ray, that lead is not big enough to win this game.
Mason with a handoff.
I think if the Knights finish on 19, they get beaten.
Grimaldi. Grimaldi on the Newcastle 40-metre line. Played back for Darren Smith and then for Braithen Astor. He picks up Luke Patton. Patton is through. Gets it away. They won't catch Polglaze. An impressive performance by Todd Polglaze. Scores for the Dogs. And he wants the video.
I'm assuming for maybe an obstruction, but gee, it looked like the play unfolded beautifully for the Bulldogs. Well executed. And Astor loves throwing second-man passes. And on first look, it didn't appear as though there was anything wrong with this one. There's an Astor. Nah, it's just a bad read. Jamie Feeney ran a great decoy, took the Newcastle defender in, a missed tackle. Patton going away to open up the space on the inside for Polglaze. That is definitely a green light.
He's done a good job, Polglaze. He's normally a fullback in the lower grades. I don't know how much centre he's actually played. Green light try. And here come the Doggies.
9 metres in, 21 out. Got one from about here last time. Hits it. Might have. No, he's got it. Squeezed it through. Flags are up again. 19-12. Knights over Dogs. Johns kicking it appreciably lower this time. Off the thigh of Sherwin. And Price goes back 12 metres out from the Canterbury line. They're going to have to man the guns again, Newcastle, if they're going to hold this lead. They desperately need some points. Canterbury looks like they're running downhill. Scott. Smith, a dummy half for Mason. Mason running at Clint Newton. He gets some help there from Julian Bailey. But Canterbury are coming to the halfway line, again with Smith using Scott.
Yeah, both Julian Bailey and Dennis Scott into the action for their respective teams for the first time as ball finally finds its way to Braithen Astor. He'll be taken on the full by Sweeney.
Sweeney bringing it back 25 metres out from his own line. Andrew Johns, dummy half run. Crowd looking for a penalty for inside the 10. Here's Simpson. And Simpson taken down by Mason and Anasta.
Yeah, it's some nervous booing from the Newcastle crowd. They sense that their team needs a lift. They want something to go for them. The ascendancy is with the Dogs, even though they're behind on the scoreboard.
Played by Jobson on halfway. Johns, that pass from Perry to Rudder was horribly close. Tackle 5 as Badiris goes into dummy half for Johns' kick. And some of these players are offside. The bounce is interesting. And Patton brings it back. Got a bump from one of his own. Loses the ball, but it's gone dead.
Well, by the Utah decision in the first half, this should nearly be a 20-metre tap if they were consistent. I've got no doubt that Patton's had this ball knocked out of his hands. He didn't need to catch it, as it turned out. The original bounce, he could have let that go over the dead ball line. Nearly steps on the dead ball line. Now tries to run it back out. Left foot step, and it'll be Gidley that slaps the ball down, and it'll go dead in goal. Now in the first half, a knockdown by Utah gave a scrum feed to the Knights.
And Nasta not happy with his restart. It was very shallow. 30 metres out from the line. Great field position for the Knights. Bailey's on the chair. Picked up and carried. Ceremonial carry by the Dogs. 30 metres out from the Dogs' line. Perry with a good surge. 20 out. Johns Puts a kick in. And who's got it? Patton or Rudder? Patton.
Yeah, Patton's got it. It was a late decision from Andrew Johns. You can see where the interchange that we just had up. Only 3 left for the Knights for the final quarter of the game. And still half left for the Bulldogs. A further 6 coming their way.
Mason now. Taken by Perry. With an assist in there from Woolno, I think it is. Now Simpson combines with Estetheo. Now they come wide for Polglaze again. Held by the centre, Matthew Gidley, and his wing partner on this side of the field, John Morris. Back it goes for Sherwin to clear, and his kick has got Kurt Gidley backpedaling. Here comes Kurt, back to the 20-metre line, tackled by the kicker Sherwin and by Thurston. Plays it back for Medeiros. He goes away to find Bailey, and Bailey keen to find the ground. Rudder's nose getting attention.
That could be a problem for the Knights, as Peter Sterling said. They're in a little bit of interchange trouble. A blood bin at this stage wouldn't help their cause so far as fresh bodies for this last bit of the game. So Rudder's getting repairs on the run.
Medeiros plays it. Now Johns. Estetheo makes this run. Tackle number 5. Kurt Gidley a dummy half. Johns puts the kick in. The corkscrew. Back and across into the end goal. There's the straight line defence, and El Masri finds a way through it, but Simpson slams him into the turf. Utai this time. He loses the ball. It's play on, advantage Newcastle. A big play in the game. Rudder is taken by Dennis Scott. 10 metres from the line. Played back for Medeiros. John's got it away. Kurt Gidley's in behind them. The ball bounces. Canterbury's got the ball. Polglaze will play it. Sherwin. Corey Hughes back. 20-metre line for Mason to take a clearing run. Mason will play it on tackle number 3. The Dogs then. 35 metres out from their own line with Dennis Scott.
And what a fitting finish coming up to a game that we have waited for with eager anticipation. Polglaze wrapped up on this occasion. Last tackle now. I still think the Knights may be a converted try away from certain victory. The game is there in the balance. Sherwin, not a good kick, plucked out of the air by, is it Perry?
I think it's Estetheo, but I'm not prepared to bet you. It was Estetheo. I should have bet you. Now it's gone over to Anthony Quinn. Quinn, again reversing forward. Sorry, Rex. 38 out from the line.
May I say the story of your life, Rabbits? I should have bet.
Now, the 17.
Bailey
plays it 30 metres out from the line. Johns gets it back for Kurt Gidley. Evasive running by the fullback. Takes him to the 20-metre line. Playing it back to Big Brother. Matthew. Johns again to the line. Estetheo. Good ball for Perry. 5 tackles gone.
Penalty.
Penalty to Newcastle. He's come up with the foot. Big Willie Mason has come up with the leg. 22 metres in from the touchline, 15 out, and he slots it straight between the uprights. 25,000 people watching as the Knights go to 21. The Dogs are 12. So Sherwin kicks off into the breeze. With 14 minutes to go, Kurt Gidley will play it. 20 metres out from his own line. Medeiros serving it up for Estetheo. He loses the ball. Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's one of the things. If you take the 2 points, you've got to complete your next set of 6. Otherwise, you've just lost 80 metres, which is the case here.
Well, how can that be a knock-on?
Well, I agree.
Even if the Newcastle player lost it, it went straight backwards. So there's been a lot of calls. I don't think it's been Hampstead's happiest game, to be quite honest. Maybe he hasn't got great help in this one, but I don't think he's come up with some good decisions at times.
El Masri, driven. 15 out from the line. He's a hard little bloke to hurt. Anasta. This is Thurston. Thurston on the 10-metre line. Held down by Perry as long as he could. Played back for Corey Hughes. They go the short side. Dennis Scott. Oh! What did you have for breakfast? I can see it. Now it's gone right for Sherwin. Sherwin to Patton. Patton shows it. Tries to circle the troops. Now it's Vangana. Back for Sherwin. Sherwin taken down. Fifth tackle. 12 metres out from the line. Anasta with the big kick. They've isolated Morris. He came down on his back. Did he get it down? I think he did. He points to the spot. It's a try for Matthew Utai.
Yes, the Bulldogs, they take advantage of the opportunity. Pinpoint kick from Braith Anasta. Last tackle. He comes wide. Last week was Brent Sherwin engineering tries in this fashion. This afternoon, one of the smallest men on the field, Matt Utai, leaps up, comes down on his back, but you could see that he was able to spin around and get the football over the line.
Plenty of Newcastle jerseys there, wasn't there? Did a good job. El Masri seeking if I can only get this through.
Same point on the field as before. He brings it back. It hits the upright. 21-16. Now they need a converted try. Stephen Price, club captain. Dogs playing for 16 consecutive wins here today. Haven't been beaten since round 1. They're trailing by 5 with 10.5 minutes to go.
And let's put this in perspective if they can get away with this game. They're chasing that amount of wins in a row. They're coming from 19-0 behind against the reigning premiers. Here's Utai away. Gidley hangs on.
Well, look at him. Have a look at that for a run. Put that down for a gold medal. Big run by Utai. The pocket rocket. Now Scott, Sherwin, Thurston, Vangana. Oh, big tackle by the Knights. A trio of them. Sherwin, Scott, Corey Hughes sees an opening. Anasta's coming. The ball's gone over towards El Masri. A chase on and saved by Clint Newton.
Oh, don't you love rugby league? This is an absolute cracker now. I'm nervous and I don't even care who wins.
Quinn. Bailey in 17. Tackled by Sherwin. There's Estetheo. Now there's a problem. Steve Reardon knew there was immediately cause for concern. He signalled to the referee. So 9 minutes to go, 5 the difference. Estetheo injured, and the Knights go to their very low reserves. No, it was Josh Perry.
Well, that's now the last tackle, so that he's got to get a good kick away. He's only on his 30. Someone's got to get one.
Gone back for Kurt Gidley to put the kick in. It's gone down towards the 20, inside the 20. El Masri spins around and gives it immediately to Luke Patton. Patton herded down by the Newcastle line, and he'll play the ball back for Corey Hughes. El Masri, they're inside the 30-metre line, Canterbury.
And Brent Sherwin and Braith Anasta will want their forwards just to get it out of here. Back running from the dummy half area. They just want field position. They want to operate at the other end.
Here's Big Mason. And that's the 4th tackle. He's a draining man, isn't he, to tackle? He's taking plenty of energy out of those defenders for Newcastle. Scott is put down. They're just on their own side of halfway, the Dogs. A dummy from Corey Hughes. He's been trapped. Got the ball away before he hit the ground. kick by Anasta. Now Hampstead says play on. In the meantime, Danny Badiris is away. Badiris pulled down by Polglaze. 30 metres out from the Dogs line. Johns gets it away. Bailey goes inside the 20. He'll play the ball. Playing it back now. Matt Gidley out for Sean Rudder. It's been knocked on by the Knights. Picked up by Thurston.
I've got to say, a very poor pass there from Sean Rudder. Put a lot of pressure on his outside man. He knows the defence of the Bulldogs is going to come up in that instance. And all they needed to do on the third tackle there was maintain possession and keep the pressure on.
Mason again. Wilmo underneath and Simpson up the top. 30 metres out from their own line, the Dogs. Reardon, hit and spin. Back for Corey Hughes. They're standing back watching them pass the ball. Here is Sherwin. Sherwin taken down in a three-man tackle. 9 metres from the halfway line. His own end of the park. Played back and Polglaze gets it off for Price. Price taken by Jobson and Simpson. 5th tackle. Halfway line achieved. Now back for the kick for Anasta. He keeps it low. He's looking for the line. Is he? Yes, he's found the line. I don't know whether he was in fact doing that or looking for El Masri.
I think he miskicked it, Ray. I think he miskicked it. He wanted it low and hard into the corner, and it came off the outside edge of the foot and went over the sideline. It may have been good had it bounced up for El Masri, but no, that's not what I wanted.
No, he doesn't want the clock winding down, as you can see, without the football in play.
21-16. 19-0 at half-time in favour of the Knights. So it's been a 16-2 victory for Canterbury in the expired part of the second half. And the clock goes 6 minutes.
OK, Gus, we see Sean Hampstead having trouble here with the scrum. If the Knights get down to 30 or 40 from their opponent's line with 1 to go, would Johns think of field goal?
Corey, get your arm over.
I'm sure he'll think of it. I'm sure he'll think of it. He'll be thinking of a lot of things at the moment. 6-point lead. You can't lose the game from there. This is a joke.
Now he's called timeout. I can tell you from the time the ball crossed the line to now, the clock has gone nearly 90 seconds.
Nearly 90 seconds. Listening to the referee give a coaching lesson to front rowers. It's ridiculous. Now they're going to do it again. We might be here all day.
Well, the whole concept of the scrum is ridiculous, really. To waste a minute and a half on it is dignifying. Here's Rudder. Straight up the middle. Payton wants to be there at full time. Simpson, good tackle. Coming up out of the line, Corey Hughes. Badiris realises that. Takes a run down the centre.
I don't know whether Steve Price was ever onside.
Now Johns away for Bailey. Oh, gee, this is razzle-dazzle stuff that's unnecessary. They can't contain themselves, Newcastle. Mason, oh, the big fella, was picked up by Sweeney. He was like a javelin. Now they go down the right side. Vunganar is tackled. 40 metres out from the line. Corey Hughes, Brent Sherwin, Braithen Astor, picked up by Thurston. He beats one. He is held by Danny Badiris. Knights have used their interchanges. Some of the Dogs, though, are walking ever so slowly. It's been a drain, a heavy defensive toll. Patton will play the ball. 35 metres out. We go on to tackle number 5. Sherwin, he's offside, Corey Hughes. He was in front of the kicker. Nothing's been said. Reardon goes in and Reardon scores.
No try.
Reardon scores.
Corey Hughes has to be offside here. He's got to go to the video replay. And I'm sure that Corey Hughes will be half a step in front of the kicker.
No risk. We can't go to the video referee for forward passes, but we can go to the video referee for offside, chasing a kick, and this man is thinking to himself, I hope on the tape I'm invisible.
There's the 7, and on his right shoulder, he is definitely in front. Ball on the foot there is half a step offside.
No risk. And unfortunate because it was such a magical play. The Bulldogs knew it was on. They came forward. but inches win football games. It's only half a yard. That's all it is. It's only half a yard. But if you're half a yard in front of the kicker, you may as well be sitting on the bench with the coach because you're out of the game.
Video ref today is Michael Stone. He was formerly a #1 referee, and the pictures are indicating that Corey Hughes is a half a step offside.
Well, that's my opinion anyway.
There's no doubt. It's on the big screen too. There's 25,000 Novocastrians up here that will lynch him if he doesn't put up the red light here.
So we come back for a penalty if that's the case?
What's a penalty for offside? Yeah. 4 minutes left on the clock. They've dodged a bullet, the Knights. It was great play, but for half a yard...
It is no try. They go up. They go up collectively. Stephen Folkes not happy. It was a beautiful play. But as you've always heard from the co-commentators, it's a game of inches, and Corey Hughes was inches offside. 21-16. Jobson.
That's a great run. They didn't give the opportunity for the Bulldogs to stop the ball going out on the full, and he still picked up 20 metres for them. Valuable metres.
Kurt Gidley away for Woolno, and he will play it a couple of metres on the dog side of halfway. 3 1/4 minutes to go. Johns gets a pass away. It was dropped by Gidley. Knocked backwards, said Hampstead. Played back to Medeiros. Now for Woolno, and he'll play the ball on the 40-metre line. 5th tackle against the Knights. Johns puts a kick straight down the middle. That'll go dead. So back to the 20-metre for the restart.
Yeah, I don't think he's disappointed with that. I think that was the plan. Be nice if it stopped the in goal, but he wants a one-line defensive line ready to stop this set of 6.
Thurston is the first of them. Vangana at acting half. Darren Smith gets outside the 30.
You would have to think that the chip kick will come into play again here with the Bulldogs. They've had a lot of success with it. They've been denied once already. Sherwin, Anasta, Patton.
And I hope that the atmosphere of this game is coming through on the television screen, because it is magic here at the moment. The crowd lifting their team. The Bulldogs digging deep as they've done all year.
4th tackle gone. Played by Rahihi. Now Mason lines them up and says, "Who wants me? Come and get me." And he takes them down the ground. 5th tackle now for the Dogs. This is an important play. Sweeney, he knocks on. The Dogs, they've got a chance. Thurston is tackled. 11 away from the line. Feeney will play it. Can they pull it out of the fire? It's away for Hughes and El Masri.
Still numbers wide to the left.
Hughes again for Sherwin. Sherwin is held.
Got to come left to Anasta.
That is the 3rd tackle. They come the short side. Here's Willie Mason. Mason is held. Played back for Hughes. Now for Darren Smith. Here is El Masri. There was a space. He gets it back for Darren Smith. Sweeney's outnumbered. They'll score. Over on the extreme eastern side of the ground.
Luke Patton has got the try. The heads go down. They're still in front. Neil Sweeney will be praying that Hazem El Masri misses this kick. It was too easy. But he's given the Bulldogs a set of 6 on the line inside the final 2 minutes, and they've done it. El Masri, he's hit the post once. He was heavily involved in this along with the number 4, Darren Smith.
But what good play by Luke Patton. This is the right winger, El Masri, in field. Where does the fullback post himself? Where the right winger should have been. Had he not been there, the Bulldogs run out of troops on the outside where they created space. Johns can't believe it. Now the game comes down to one man. 34 have fought it out, but the result hinges in the boot of Hazem El Masri. Andrew Johns, who made the decision to kick for penalty goal earlier, is hoping that's going to be enough.
Time is now up, Gus.
Well,
there's nothing left on the clock. It all comes down to this. There's a lot on this, isn't there? I mean, 16 in a row.
It's really on the wrong side for El Masri. He's on the eastern side. He's a right foot kick. The breeze, Andrew, you said it had picked up. It's against him.
Definitely is, and plus, I mean, Hazem El Masri's kicking has improved out of sight over the past 12 months, but if there is a poor side, this is it. It's on the right side. I mean, what a finish, what an afternoon, 25,000 people. The premiers of last year against the team that's fast emerging as the premiers of this year. Well, certainly as favourites for that title.
I doubt that one individual has left the stadium. The breeze is coming at 90 degrees across the flight path. El Masri from the touchline. Michael Hagan. 21-20, his team in front. 21 out.
And he takes his time with kicks. No one cares how long he takes with this one.
The sun would be a little problem for him. Just adjusting it. Which tarmac? The one in the middle. Okay. Hagen sweats. 25,000 people palpitate.
It's a big moment.
The climax to a supreme game of rugby league. El Masri trailing by 1 to win it. He's got it away. It has got there. He has kicked it. The flags are in the air. So are the Canterbury Bulldogs. They have won it. 16 consecutive. 22-21. Oh, grand final celebrations. One more time. Look at this. Look at this. It has just got over the crossbar. And Hazem El Magic wins the game for Canterbury. What a day. What a trip it'll be back down the highway to the blue and whites. 22-21. What a game and what a finish.
This has been a Fox Sports presentation for the National Rugby League Partnership. Tuesday night football.